World champion Max Verstappen capped his historically dominant 2023 F1 campaign by claiming victory in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to take sole ownership of third on the sport's all-time race winners list. In a dramatic finish to the side second behind Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, Charles Leclerc took second for Ferrari, but it was not enough to return a 4-point deficit to Mercedes, for whom George Russell took third and teammate Hamilton ninth. Verstappen's teammate Perez finished second on the track, but was demoted to fourth by a 5-second penalty for causing a late race collision with Lando Norris, who came fifth ahead of McLaren's teammate Oscar Piastri. Verstappen controlled the 22nd and final race of the year from pole to claim a record-extending 19th win of the season, taking his overall tally to 54, moving him beyond Sebastian Vettel and leaving Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher ahead. The Dutchman, who sealed his third successive title with 6 Grand Prix remaining, ends the season with a record total of 575 points, with more than double his nearest challenger Perez, and Red Bull winning all but one race. Fernando Alonso took 7th for Aston Martin, with Yuki Tsunoda impressive 8th, but not quite enough for AlphaTauri to lift Williams up in the constructors' standings. Alonso's teammate Stroll rounded out the points as Aston Martin's underwhelming second half of the season ended with them 22 points back from McLaren, but having overcome some practice struggles to take pole in Saturday, Verstappen was always going to be heavy favourite. Once the Dutchman saw off 2 overtaking attempts from Leclerc on the opening lap, the chance was almost non-existent of him being defeated. As he's so often been the case throughout the season, he calmly managed the tyres to remain outside of DRS range before easing into the distance as the race developed. Verstappen is confident at the point such as that he would be on the team radio to offer up priority at the second round of pit stops to Perez, who was attempting to come through the field from ninth on the grid. Albon helped slightly by those behind him who focused on their own contest. Verstappen ended the race just 18 seconds clear of Leclerc. Perhaps the most significant among the hosts of records he set during a near faultless campaign is a win percentage above 86%, which, unlike victory and points totals, isn't impacted by an ever-growing calendar. Verstappen moved clear of Vettel, the last Red Bull driver to win a driver's title in race wins, and will now be focused on returning in 2024 to match the streak and the German one between 2010 and 2013. It was an incredible season. It was a bit emotional on the last lap. Verstappen said, "The last time I was sitting in that car, which of course has given me a lot. Of course, I'm very proud to win the last race. I have to say thanks to everyone at Red Bull for an incredible year. It'll be hard to see something similar, but we definitely enjoyed this year." While there was little doubt about who was going to win the race, the subplot of Mercedes trying to hold off Ferrari in the constructors' standings provided plenty of entertainment. Leclerc started second and Russell fourth, while Hamilton was 11th on the grid, while Ferrari, Carlos Sainz 16th. Both endured disappointing early quality setbacks. This mixed up the starting positions in a race where stopping twice was the optimum strategy meant that there was nearly constantly changing leaderboard. He made it hard to keep track of things. Who was going to come out on top. Russell made a pole start and lost the place in the race, but regained fourth on lap 11, overtaking Piastri, who'd been passed by his McLaren teammate. The Mercedes driver would then advance to third after a slow start, which enabled him to pass Norris, with Leclerc comfortably holding on to second ahead. The intrigue would come as quick as Perez came through the field, where he could find potentially split Leclerc and Russell to aid Ferrari's cause. However, Ferrari's hopes of having hand were ruined when Perez carelessly drove into Norris when overtaking the McLaren, earning a 5-second penalty which proved crucial in the end. Perez passed Russell with 4 laps remaining, but even with the help of a fast-sinking Leclerc, who slowed down to give the Red Bull a slipstream to allow it through, couldn't open up an all-important 5-second gap to Mercedes. Russell staying within a pace of Leclerc would have kept Mercedes a point ahead of Ferrari, who had a tiebreaker virtuous Sainz's win in Singapore, but Hamilton, outperforming the Spaniard, gave the Silver Arrows an extra cushion. The 7-time world champion progressed into the top 10, but had his hopes and front wing dented as he drove into the back of Pierre Gasly's Alpine after the Frenchman locked up on lap 15. The incident ultimately appeared to do little damage, but Hamilton appeared to fail to maximise the potential Russell was showing as he passed Fernando Alonso before the Aston Martin immediately hit back, with Hamilton claiming his former teammate brake tested him after retaking the pace. Then on the final lap, in what could have been a crucial moment, Hamilton got ahead of Tsunoda for race, only to suffer a big snap and give the position back. Ultimately, blushes were saved by Sainz having a disappointing race and Ferrari failing to get a right strategy on a one stop and a safety car not coming. And before I go, let me run you through the classification from this weekend's race. Max Verstappen winning, of course, coming out on top. Yeah, another dominant performance from Max. What can you say about him? 19 wins out of 22 is just absolutely ridiculous. Leclerc doing his best, but in the end couldn't quite get the place to hand Ferrari second in the championship. Nothing more he could have done on the day. A really strong performance. And Russell as well, and both on the podium, stepping up after a disappointing season for Russell. I think, that'll give him some momentum going into the break. Then you got Perez fourth. Disappointing. I don't think that was a penalty, to be honest. I think, it was just a race against them. Both carried on, it's fine. And in the end, proved costly for Ferrari, and he'll be disappointed not to be on the podium. McLaren 5th and 6th, did enough to get the job done in the constructors, didn't really have the pace for much more, so they'll be pleased. Fernando Alonso 7th, probably maximised the car as well. Well, disappointed to miss out on constructor's place. Similar story can be said for Yuki Tsunoda. Hamilton didn't have his best day of the weekend, just kind of seen behind all weekend, maybe missing the first practice session, kind of harmed him. But yeah, in the end, didn't quite matter. Still a very strong season from him. Stroll tenths did well to get into the points, but in the end, Aston Martin not quite getting what they wanted to be. I think Ricciardo, we disappointed to be outside the post with the pace that Yuki showed, and then the Alpines just kind of nowhere in their usual place, to be honest. And then you've got the Williams, and just about held on despite not having the pace this weekend, and that's a huge achievement for them. Congratulations to them. The Haas and the Alfa Romeos just kind of nowhere, and Sainz with a disaster strategy, which in the end probably cost Ferrari because all they needed was a few more points. I think that will be pretty bitterly disappointing for them. That was the order. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and subscribe daily F1 news and so on. That's going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.